What if the truth about someone didn't come out while they were alive, but only after they were brutally taken?
Do you recognize the person in the picture?
Anyone?
That's a picture of you, Mr. George.
The headlines told us they were icons, talented, untouchable. But behind the fame were secrets no one dared to expose, until murder ripped everything open. Their deaths shocked the world. What came out afterward shocked it even more.
In the middle of a new and growing discussion, he grabbed Dominique by the neck and squeezed her tightly. Dominique couldn't defend herself. Her ex's hands were large and powerful.
Brace yourself for things that came out about celebrities after they were murdered. Karyn Kupcinet was a working actress building her resume when she was strangled to death on Thanksgiving Day, November 28, 1963. Her father was Irv Kupcinet, a famous Chicago newspaper columnist, which gave her name recognition in the Midwest. She'd done bit parts on The Donna Reed Show and Perry Mason, and her best remembered role was in the original The Little Shop of Horrors. Not the beloved musical, but the low-budget B-movie that came before it. She used the stage name Tammy Windsor for some early work. What came out after her death was bizarre. Her boyfriend, actor Andrew Prine, revealed during the investigation that both he and Kupcinet had been receiving threatening letters. The letters were made from cutout words from magazines taped to paper, the kind of thing you'd see in a ransom note. But here's the twist. When investigators analyzed the tape on one of the letters, they found Karyn's fingerprints on the sticky side. She had been sending the threatening letters to herself. It appeared to be some kind of scheme to lock down her relationship with Prine, to make him feel protective of her. Despite this revelation, her murder has never been solved. She was killed just days after President Kennedy's assassination, and some have tried to connect the two crimes, but nothing has stuck. Over 60 years later, we still don't know who killed Karyn Kupcinet. Sal Mineo is best remembered for Rebel Without a Cause, where he starred alongside James Dean. He was handsome and talented, but as he aged out of teenage roles, work became harder to find. In 1976, he was rehearsing for a play called P.S. Your Cat is Dead when he was stabbed to death in an alleyway near his apartment in West Hollywood. He had time to call for help, but he died at the scene. The secret that came out was about his sexuality. Mineo was bisexual, and rumors about his preference for men had circulated for years. Some believed these rumors had contributed to his difficulty finding adult roles. When he was murdered, public speculation immediately turned to his sexuality. People assumed the murder had something to do with a scorned lover or a sexual encounter gone wrong. The rumors persisted, even after police arrested and convicted Lionel Williams, a petty criminal who was simply trying to rob Mineo and didn't recognize him. The truth? Mineo's death had nothing to do with his sexuality. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. A man was killed for his wallet, and his sexuality became the narrative people wanted to believe. Carl Switzer, the original alfalfa from the R Gang, Little Rascals Shorts, struggled to make it as an adult actor. He worked as a bartender, trained dogs, and led hunting and fishing trips in Northern California. The Little Rascals curse is real. The list of child stars from those films who met unhappy ends is grim. Switzer's older brother Harold also appeared in the films and died violently, apparently by suicide after killing someone in a dispute. Carl got into a fight with his former business partner over $50, a significant sum at the time. Switzer pulled a knife. His partner fired a gun. Switzer was dead at 31. What came out after his death was that it was ruled justifiable homicide. Because Switzer had been armed with a knife, the courts decided the shooting was self-defense. He rests today in Hollywood Forever Cemetery next to his brother Harold. Two brothers from the same child star ensemble, both dying violently. The curse was real. Jasmine Fiore was a swimsuit model who married reality TV star Ryan Jenkins. Jenkins appeared on Megan Wants a Millionaire, a spin-off of Beauty and the Geek, where Playboy alumna Megan Hauserman was choosing from a house full of millionaires. Jenkins didn't win her affection, so he went to Las Vegas, quickly married Fiore, then flew to Mexico to film I Love Money 3. In August 2009, Fiore's brutalized body was found stuffed in a suitcase. She had to be identified from the serial numbers on her breast implants. Jenkins died by suicide in a Canadian hotel room days later. What came out during the investigation was disturbing. Jenkins had been obsessively jealous while filming in Mexico. He called Fiore constantly, suspicious of what she was doing in Vegas. His jealousy and obsession were so intense that the reality TV producers actually spun it into a plot point for the show. After the murder, both VH1 shows with Jenkins in the cast were canceled at major financial cost. Industry insiders described a lasting commitment to safety in casting, though concerns were raised that not everyone in reality TV was exercising enough caution. Fiore's death changed reality television forever. Dominique Dunne's career was on the verge of takeoff in 1982. She'd done guest spots on Hill Street Blues and Chips, and that summer she appeared in Poltergeist, playing the older sister. She was poised to star in the sequel. On October 30th, 1982, she was attacked by her abusive ex-boyfriend, John Sweeney. He strangled her but was interrupted. She died 5 days later from her injuries. What came out after her death changed her father's entire life. Dominique Dunne, her father, had worked in Hollywood as a producer and assistant director. After his daughter's murder, he wrote about his experience as the father of a murder victim for Vanity Fair. The article was well received. He built a second career as a true crime writer, covering the O.J. Simpson trial, the Menendez murders, and Phil Spector's murder of Lana Clarkson. He became one of America's most famous true crime journalists, but here's the dark secret that came out years later. Dominique Dunne admitted he had attempted to hire a killer to take care of Sweeney. A detective talked him out of it. Dunne came closer to being on both sides of a murder than his readers ever knew. Sweeney served less than 3 years for Dominique's murder. After his release, protests led by the Dunnes chased him out of California. Selena was the queen of Tejano music. At 23, she was about to go from big to huge. An album with English-language songs and a cameo in a Johnny Depp movie seemed likely to propel her from the best in her niche to among the best in the world. Yolanda Saldivar, the president of her fan club and a family friend, shot Selena dead in a Corpus Christi motel after Selena accused her of embezzling money. What came out after her death was remarkable. Selena's posthumous album, for which she had only recorded a few tracks, was filled out with other work and released to enormous acclaim. Dreaming of You debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart and sold over 3 million US copies. While the salacious details of her murder undoubtedly boosted sales, the album also showed what a talent the world had lost. Songs like Bidi Bidi Bom Bom and I Could Fall in Love revealed an artist on the cusp of superstardom. Death couldn't extinguish Selena's rising star. If anything, it cemented her legacy. Marvin Gaye was a rare musician who managed to change gears while retaining fans and continuing to make money. A Motown darling who evolved into a protest musician with serious messages, Gaye had a golden voice. He also had a malicious and abusive father who shot him to death in 1984, one day before Marvin's 45th birthday. What came out after his death, revealed in David Ritz's book, Divided Soul: The Life of Marvin Gaye, was devastating. Marvin Gaye Sr., a Pentecostal preacher, had apparently always hated his son. His widow Alberta said, "My husband never wanted Marvin and he never liked him. What's worse, he didn't want me to love Marvin either." The elder Gaye had abused his son throughout childhood. even accusing him of incest with his mother. Once Marvin Jr. became famous and successful, his father envied him even as he disapproved of his sensual public persona. Marvin Jr. had his own demons: drug misuse, suicidal ideation, and he abused his wife Janice. But his father's hatred was the root of it all. During an argument that turned physical, the father shot his son twice with a .38 revolver that Marvin had given him as a Christmas gift. Marvin Sr. received a suspended sentence of 6 years for voluntary manslaughter, with 5 years probation. A man's own father killed him and got barely any prison time. Jill Dando was a crime journalist in the United Kingdom, famous for hosting Crime Watch, a show that helped solve unsolved cases. She was shot dead on her own front porch by a single point-blank bullet. The murder has never been solved. What came out after her death was a mystery that remains unsolved. Shootings are rare in the United Kingdom, as are killings of women by people they don't know. With Dando's associates cleared, speculation has swirled for decades. Serbian nationalists enraged over her advocacy for refugees in Kosovo. Someone involved in a Crime Watch case seeking revenge. An unhinged fan. The conviction and later exoneration of Barry George, a man who liked guns and disliked women, only added to the confusion. An attempt by a tipster to frame George's associates made things worse. Unfortunately for those who loved Dando and her work, her killer managed to pull off exactly the kind of difficult-to-crack murder that Dando had spent her career trying to solve. The irony is cruel. Gianni Versace was a fashion world luminary, one of the most influential designers of the 20th century. He was murdered by serial killer Andrew Cunanan in July 1997 outside his Miami mansion. Cunanan shot him dead on his front steps. What came out after his death was that Versace was gay and had a long-term relationship with his partner, Antonio D'Amico. The murder brought intense scrutiny to Versace's personal life. The fashion world mourned not just a brilliant designer, but a man who had lived openly at a time when that was dangerous. His death became a symbol of violence against the LGBTQ+ community. The investigation revealed details about Cunanan's obsession with Versace, though Versace didn't know Cunanan. Cunanan had been on a killing spree across America, and Versace was his final victim before Cunanan shot himself. The secrets that came out were about Versace's life, his relationships, and the broader context of violence in America. Sam Cooke was a legendary soul singer, one of the first to successfully jump from gospel to popular music. By 1964, he had recorded an admirable catalog of hits and distinguished himself as a businessman, effectively managing his own career and bringing rhythm and blues into nightclubs that previously shunned the genre. At 33, he was shot to death in a motel lobby in Los Angeles. What came out after his death was suspicious. Cooke had gone to the shabby Hacienda Motel with a woman named Elisa Boyer. According to Boyer's account, she feared rape, so she grabbed her clothes and fled, accidentally taking some of Cooke's clothing and his wallet. Cooke followed, reportedly clad only in a sport coat, and scuffled with the motel manager, 55-year-old Bertha Franklin. Franklin fired her .22, giving Cooke a fatal chest wound, but nobody who knew Cooke was happy with this explanation. Cooke chased other women, but he was not violent. His attack on an older woman didn't fit his personality. Suspicions centered on Boyer, who observers believed may have lured Cooke to the motel as part of a robbery plan. Boyer was later convicted of a different murder in 1979. The $5,000 Cooke had with him was never recovered. The police investigation was desultory. Unexplained injuries on Cooke's body and many inconsistent details left fans wondering for over 60 years. Was it really self-defense, or was it a setup? Lana Clarkson was an actress who died under suspicious circumstances. Phil Spector, the legendary music producer, claimed she shot herself in his foyer on February 3, 2003. According to Spector, Clarkson had been depressed about a pause in her acting work due to a wrist injury and had killed herself in the house of a man she'd met earlier that evening. What came out during the investigation was damning to Spector's defense. Clarkson's personal life showed she had done nothing to suggest she was putting her affairs in order before death by suicide. While she was taking antidepressants, these had been prescribed not for depression, but for persistent headaches. Spector, on the other hand, had a history of violence against women, including pulling guns on those who rejected his advances. Over 2 trials, juries didn't buy Spector's defense. The first deadlocked with a majority for conviction. The second jury was willing to put him away. Spector died of COVID-19 in 2021 while in custody of the California Department of Corrections. The secrets that came out revealed a pattern of violence and a man who used his power and wealth to intimidate women. Rebecca Schaeffer was an actress who showed kindness to a fan who wrote her a letter. She wrote back, commenting that his was one of the nicest she'd ever received. That fan was Robert Bardo. His obsession grew. He hired a private detective to find addresses for Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, and Schaeffer. Schaeffer's address was the one the investigator found. On July 18, 1989, Bardo shot her dead on her front doorstep. What came out after her death woke America up to the reality of stalking. Bardo had gone to the studio to look for Schaeffer and was merely shooed away by a guard who didn't understand him as a threat. Schaeffer's team hadn't detected a threat in Bardo's letters. Prosecutor Marcia Clark said in 2024, "What struck me about the case is the naivete of everyone involved." The case led to California adopting some of the nation's first anti-stalking laws. Clark warned that given the wide availability of information on the internet, public awareness of the dangers has only increased in importance. Schaeffer's death exposed the depths of obsession and changed how celebrities and studios think about security. The spotlight can hide a lot, but it can't hide everything forever. These stories remind us that fame doesn't erase secrets, and death doesn't always bring peace. Sometimes it opens doors that were kept locked for years. Doors the public was never meant to see. What do you think? Should the truth always come out no matter how late, or are some secrets better left buried? If this video made you think, disturbed you, or taught you something new, let us know in the comments. And if you want more stories that uncover the dark side of fame, make sure to like, subscribe, and become part of this community. More chilling stories are coming soon. Thank you for watching.